Hey Internet, Eric here. Today we have a surprise You Hate It, I Don't. And by meaning that, I didn't think this movie would be a You Hate It, I Don't. If you don't know what that is, You Hate It, I Don't, I said it for the third time, is where I take a film that it seems like everybody hated. Fans of the genre, fans in general, critics, everyone hates it, except for me. And I do my best to defend it, or at least just say what I really enjoyed. If you've been following my channel, you know I got back into the Child's Play series. Um, and next up, surprisingly, I hadn't seen this one in a long time, and it was just going to be a regular review, and it ends up being a You Hate It, I Don't. You Hate It, I Don't. I'm really tired of saying that. Seed of Chucky. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I do discuss plot spoilers and specific scenes, what have you, so watch at your own risk. This came out in 2004, 2005, I don't know, around that time. I'll put the year in the description. Basic plot is we're following Glen. Glen, I think this takes place like 10 years after Bride of Chucky. Following Glen. Glen is the adolescent, or he was the baby that was born at the very end of Bride of Chucky. He's now an adolescent. He's living in England. Knows he's an orphan. He was found in that cemetery by a guy from Britain, and he's now living there with him as part of a ventriloquist act. He's being horribly treated. He's kept in like a chicken cage. He's called Shitface by this guy, but he wants to know where he came from, and he's watching like Access Hollywood or some shit like that, and he sees like a mock interview with Tiffany and Chucky, but it's the dolls. They got the wires in the back, and they're moving around, and they're giving this mock interview, and lo and behold, Glen sees those are his parents because, in a funny joke, they both have "Made in Japan" marked on their wrist. So, at first, I'll get to the joke, but he sees them. He knows those are my parents. He makes it to Hollywood, where they're filming this movie, Chucky Goes Psycho, starring Jennifer Tilly, and I guess it's just Hollywood's version of the Chucky saga. I don't know if it's just what happened in Bride of Chucky or everything, but eventually Chucky and Tiffany are brought back to life, and Glen wants nothing to do with murder. He wants to live a pacifist life. He knows murder's wrong, even though he has these urges. He wants to suppress them, and basically the rest of the film is Chucky and Tiffany want to transfer their bodies or their souls into Jennifer Tilly and another random man, and then they want to transfer Glen's soul into a baby by them getting Jennifer Tilly pregnant. The end. Wow. A lot of people hate this fucking movie. I can see why, because they really push the horror comedy aspect, but after Bride of Chucky, that's kind of where the series went. I really had a lot of fun with this one. Again, first off, Chucky is great. Him and Tiffany together are great. They have this great, they love each other, but they have this great, always at odds with each other. They get on each other's nerves. They remind me of like Al and Peg Bundy. They hate each other because they've been together for so long, but they love each other type of thing. Chucky is still great. He's still cynical. He's still an asshole. He's still got the great one-liners. Tiffany's still great when she's arguing with him, because she wants to stop being a murderer because of Glen. She wants to set a good example for Glen. And Chucky just wants to kill people. And I love it. I love their squabbles. Tiffany says, "Chucky, I think we have a problem with killing." And Chucky just says, "I don't have a problem with killing. I just like to do it." That type of thing. So I love that parental idea of them trying to... The mom wants to do what's right for their son, and Chucky just wants to be Chucky and kill people. He doesn't care. And I have a lot of fun. The look of the dolls are a little different. It's more streamlined. At least you can tell it with Tiffany. Chucky looks a little more streamlined. They mentioned that in the beginning. They're like, we got makeovers. We're Hollywood now. So, but yeah, I really love Chucky and Tiffany in this. They're still fun characters. I don't know if they're the original dolls from the murder brought to Hollywood, because they don't really explain how they're brought back. Other, with the amulet. Glen's got the amulet and wakes them up. Or, who cares? But Tiffany and Chucky, absolutely love them. Jennifer Tilly, she looks good like she always does. She's a fun character. She's playing herself, and she pokes a lot of fun at herself. She talks about how what is it? People think she's a slut, but that's how she just does it to get the sex pot roles. She pokes fun at her weight, how she's always hiding chocolate bars in like Chucky's overalls and stuff like that. She you can tell she's enjoying the series because she pokes so much fun at herself, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy her character. I love how she does a good job of, like, there's a scene where Redman's in this, the guy from the Wu-Tang Clan, and he's doing like a Virgin Mary movie, like he's directing it, and she wants that role so bad that she's willing to sleep with him for it. And I love the conflict she has with her manager or her publicist. How the publicist says something like, "You're willing to be a whore to play the Virgin Mary," and you could tell Jennifer doesn't want to do it. She knows she's going to regret it, but she needs to do this for her career. So she's sympathetic in that little bit, but she does it in a fun way. So I love Jennifer Tilly here. The other character, John Waters. John Waters is in this. He plays a paparazzo named Pete Peters. I don't know if that name is from one of his movies or not, but he's fantastic. He's the sleazeball paparazzo. He every time this man is on screen in this film, I'm having fun. I'm busting up laughing. There's a scene where they know that they need to Chucky and Tiffany need to artificially inseminate Jennifer Tilly so they can transfer the soul of Glen into her baby. So Chucky's got to jerk off into a cup, which is a funny scene because he can't get an erection from Maxim or this and that, but he finds an issue of Fangoria and jerks off, and then John Waters is taking a picture of him jerking off. Like, you can see like the silhouette through the window. It's just a lot. He's just fucking hilarious. He's only in the movie for maybe a total of 10 minutes, but I love him. So much fun. And then we'll get to Glen. Glen is creepy as fuck looking. I know my wife hates looking at him. I like his character too. I like how he doesn't want anything to do with murder, and it causes him to have like a mental break, and he gets split personalities. Glen is the peaceful one, and then he's got Glenda, who is the homicidal maniac. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun reveal when you see, because someone is murdered in a really cool way, and you find out that it was Glen who did it because Chucky thinks it's Tiffany, and no, it's Glenda, because there's this ongoing joke since Chucky and Tiffany can't tell if Glen is a boy or a girl. They even pull down his pants, and there's no genitalia there. So Chucky names him Glen, she names him Glenda, and they're arguing that Tiffany wants a girl, Chucky wants a boy, all that jazz. It's a fun joke that keeps running, and now they have the son and the daughter that they wanted. It's fun. And then I love the arguing, like when Glenda or Glen or whatever the fuck he's called is in the background, and Tiffany and Chucky are arguing. He's just back there flipping his wig and just having a lot of fun. Billy Boyd from who is he? He's Pippin. Pippin, I think. Merry or Pippin? I think he's Pippin from the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit. He's having a lot of fun with this voice. I really enjoy it. Yeah. There's not a lot. I don't have a lot of fun with this movie, except Redman. Absolutely hate Redman in this movie. I hate the fact that Redman's in this movie. I hate Redman's acting in this movie. I hate Redman's the way he eats corn in this movie. Every time he's on screen, I just want to punch him. His delivery is off. He just doesn't belong in this movie. But I will say he's got a cool death, and I'll get into that. So character-wise, he's the only character in this film that if I have no reaction to them, like the limo driver Or, like I said, I liked the Jennifer Tilly's publicist when she's arguing with Jennifer Tilly. So if they're not Chucky, Tiffany, or Jennifer Tilly, and they're not a character that isn't here nor there, there's one character that I dislike, and it's Redman. I can't stand him at all. It's just, I don't know what it is. Might be his delivery, just might be the way he his body language. Can't stand him. But overall, really enjoy the characters. The comedy is, a lot of people think it's overkill. I love it. I love how they're mixing the Hollywood lifestyle with Tiffany and Chucky. There's a scene where I love when Chucky's taking Glen out for like a man's night out or a boy's night out or whatever, and they're going to go after John Waters because he's got a picture of Chucky. I guess I don't remember if Chucky found him or he saw that his picture was being taken. So they're driving down to downtown LA or Hollywood or whatever, where John's developing the film, and they drive by Britney Spears and they knock her off the road and she gets into an explosion. He says, "Oops, I did it again." Funny stuff. It's fun. I like when they're just hanging out in the back of the limo, Jennifer Tilly's limo, and they're just looking outside, and Tiffany's gawking at, she's amazed by like all the palm trees and this and that because she wants to live the great life. Chucky's just back there getting drunk on champagne. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the comedy is really good. I like how Tiffany has a slip. She doesn't want to murder anyone, but she murders Redman and hides his body in there in the closet, and then it falls out, and then her and Chucky are arguing. He's like, "Ooh, I thought you were done with this for the sake of our boy." And then they're arguing. Chucky says something like, "It's okay. I've got my skeletons in the closet too." And he hits the other closet, and more bodies fall out like that are stabbed, and there's a bag wrapped around a person's face. That's a lot of fun. I love the scene where Jennifer Tilly's tied to the bed. She just gave birth. It's a loud, obnoxious, noisy scene, but the cops just showed up. So you hear the sirens, and Tiffany's yelling at Chucky, and then Jennifer Tilly's yelling for help in the back. The babies were just born, and they're crying. And Glenda is back in the background just laughing and everything. And then Chucky, he's just going nuts, and he just yells, "Shut up." It's fun. Chucky, it just makes this movie so much fun. So the comedy, overall, I think really, really works. It's goofy. It's a movie you're not supposed to take seriously because it's about a killer fucking doll. It's the 5th film about a killer fucking doll. Let's get to the gore. The gore is actually pretty good. Redman, he has a fantastic death. He's there, like I said, he's eating his corn. He's having a date with Jennifer Tilly. Because Jennifer's gonna put the moves on Redman to get the job, do the job to get the job, and he's sitting there eating, and then suddenly Tiffany slices his belly open, and I like it's a wonderful shot. Don Mancini, this is the first one he directed. He's written all of them, and it's a great shot. Jennifer Tilly's dining room table is glass, so you hear the slice, and then Redman looks down, and then Tiffany's looking up, and she just goes bye bye. And then she cuts him open, and like the guts pour out, and like the steam from the intestines, and he just falls over dead. Really cool. Some people get knifed, and then they're coughing up blood. Someone gets set on fire in a really cool / kind of CGI-ish effect, but the after effect of the burnt and crispy body is great. And then the kill, the best kill, is John Waters. And let's just say, if you've seen From Dusk Till Dawn and you know what happens to Jacob, the Harvey Keitel character, that's what happens to John Waters here. Great effect, really disgusting. And then to bring the comedy to that, Chucky takes a picture with the body and with Glen, and Glen's looking all sad. It's just a wonderful way to cap off that insanity of the scene that happened with that funny picture. So, like I said, the comedy works well with the horror in this. Soundtrack's decent. I like some of the score. Oh, another thing that I do think is kind of dumb is kind of some of the effects with Glen. There's a scene where he's escaping the ventriloquist guy, and he's running to like a garbage truck, and he's literally running like this. Like, I don't know if it's like out of like a Speed Racer or something, and it looks horribly bad. They tried their best with the movements, but it just comes off of him like doing a little shuffle, like a slow motion shuffle as he's running. Didn't like that. And then there's this ongoing joke where he sees the Made in Japan thing. So before he knows that Chucky is his dad, he thinks his parents are samurais because he was made in Japan. So there's an ongoing joke where he speaks a little bit of Japanese and this and that. And then after Tiffany is taken care of, at the end, it's a final fight between Chucky and Glen, and Chucky runs after Glen, and Glen does this somersault over Chucky, and it just looks horrible. It's out of place. It's like a groaning effect. It's pretty bad, but they follow it up with a fantastic way of Glen dispatching Chucky in a wonderful use of voiceover work from Billy Boyd. I loved it. Glen lost it. It wasn't Glenda, doing the crazy stuff. It was Glen at this time. He went full on psychotic, and I loved it. I don't know what else. I don't know what else I can say. I really, really enjoy Seed of Chucky. And you know what you're getting into in the very beginning when the credits are the animated sperm going into, going through the womb and hitting the egg, and the egg, multiplying or whatever it does, like a CGI version, like 100% CGI version of like the opening of Look Who's Talking. So I don't know if it was an homage to that or not, but it was fun. You know what you were getting. You hate it. I don't. Seed of Chucky. Yeah, definitely not my the worst in the series. Still like Bride more, but yeah. Oh, and a lot of laugh out loud moments. This scene here. I wanted to mention this. I love when Jennifer's trying to call her secretary or her assistant or whatever, and it's like a three-way call. It's the secretary, it's Jennifer Tilly, and then it's Tiffany on the other phone, and of course the assistant can't tell the difference between Tiffany and Jennifer Tilly, and then suddenly Chucky jumps over her with like a bed sheet, and he's strangling her, like smothering her, and the assistant says, "Why are you screaming?" Tiffany says, "Oh, I'm not screaming." "Yes, you are. I can hear you," and this and that. And it's funny, in the background you see like the shot of Jennifer Tilly running around with a bed sheet over her head, and Chucky, the doll, is literally like holding on to her. They got the doll tied to her, however they fucking did the effect. And you see his feet kicking, and it's just funny, like her going across the door frame and then back and then forth. I laughed my ass off. I had a lot of fun. This movie is a lot of fun. A lot of people hate it. I don't. Seed of Chucky. If you can turn off your brain for hour and 28 minutes, it's not even 90 minutes. I had a lot of fun. So yeah, highly recommend Seed of Chucky if you're into horror comedies. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I will be going back. I got 2 more to go, and then I'm done with the Child's Play series until I guess the remake comes out. Who knows? But like and subscribe, comment below, click the bell. Don't check out my other playlists. Check out the playlist of the other Child's Play series. Cheers, and God bless the little people.